Today I wanted to give you guys 3 tips on how to stick to your calorie deficit a bit better than what you're already doing. These 3 tips have helped me lose over 90 plus pounds. Let's jump right into it. Tip number 1. Recognize when your body's letting you know when you're full. If you can nail this tip down, you're good to go. Because you can basically eat anything you want and be satisfied. And I'm not saying to eat to full discomfort, but to eat to when you're satisfied. I'm not saying like full. So I can eat these junk foods and still be within my calorie limit. The thing about this, it's more about mental restriction. So if you keep restricting those foods, you're gonna want to binge, period. And in order to prevent that, you kind of just want to do the opposite of restriction, which means give in. So say if you're craving something like chips and you really crave these chips, then just go ahead, get like a personal size bag, you know, the ones that they sell at the grocery store, the gas station, and just eat that. Make sure you track it, of course. You have to be tracking this stuff, especially if you're eating out too. An average bag of chips goes for about 400 calories. So to know when you're full, or to know when you're satiated, is when you eat, right? Just practice this. Practice this. Next time you go sit down and eat, right? You make a homemade cooked meal or something. Even if you go out to eat, if you go out with friends or something, you order like a good, like a cheeseburger with fries or something, just sit down, put your phone down, no distractions. Don't be thinking about anything. Just think about what's in front of you, what you're about to eat. So as you eat the meal, enjoy it, right? I mean, you gotta enjoy your food. Take it in. I know it sounds kind of funny, but take it in. Enjoy the food, enjoy the experience that you're having. Once you're finished, you know, obviously you want to have something like a diet soda or water or whatever that's low calorie or something like that to fill you up as well, because that's gonna help you as well. After you finish your meal, I'd say give it like a typical 5 to 10 minutes when your body starts letting you know that you're good. Not that you're necessarily like full or uncomfortably full. Because if you get uncomfortably full, you're doing it wrong. You want to get satiated. You want to be to a point where your body's not letting you know that you're hungry anymore. You know, there's a lot of people out there that they make low calorie dishes with a high volume amount of food. They say, oh, you could eat a lot of it and it's really low calorie, so it'll keep you full, you know? But the thing with that is you're still technically somewhat binging. You're not really solving the problem there, because that's the whole point, especially if you're in a calorie deficit. Next time you eat, you go sit down, put your phone on the side. Just put it on the side. Ignore your phone. Just sit there in peace and quiet. It's been a solid 6 months for me since I've incorporated more like foods that are considered unhealthy. So the next time you go out to eat or you make a nice home-cooked meal, sit down, enjoy your food, eat it, drink a cup of water or diet soda, whatever you prefer, and you'll be good. Just like stick to that one plate, wait about 5 to 10 minutes, and your body will let you know that you're good now, that it's not sending off those hunger signals through your stomach or your brain, and you can move on with your day. Tip 2 is to give in to the foods you love. And what I mean by that is you want to give into the foods that you actually love, not just healthy version of that food. For example, there's a lot of healthy pizzas out there. Yeah, they're good. They'll hold you for a few times, but eventually you just still want to cave into that real pizza because it's real pizza. Instead of restricting yourself, do the opposite and kind of give in. Now, I'm not saying just go on a full binge, but if you wanted to have a couple slices, go ahead, have a couple slices. But it is essential to track these types of foods, because you can't just expect to go out and eat whatever you want and think, oh, you know, this is so many calories, that's so many calories, and you're not really tracking it. You're just kind of just estimating in your head. No, you got to make sure you log it into your Calorie app, whichever app you use. Me personally, I like to use the Lose It app. It's always been a great app to me. Anyways, yeah, that's tip number 2. Tip number 3, last and final tip. Last tip is going to have a calorie deficit range. Don't just stick to just one deficit number. You want to have a range of at least an extra 1 to 200 calorie range. For example, say if your deficit was 2,000 calories, you can fluctuate between 2,000 calories and 2,200 calories. This will kind of give you more of like a leeway. Say if you're hungry one day more than another day, you have that leeway. So say if you're in a 700 calorie deficit and your calories for that deficit is 2,000, you can fluctuate an extra 200 calories between the 7 and 500 calorie limit. You can jump up to 2,200 calories and still be on track. Yeah, progress might be a little slower, but it's better than being at maintenance or over maintenance. Just try to be more flexible with your diet. Don't just stick to the same old chicken, rice, veggies, stuff like that, because you'll eventually get tired of it. Yeah, you can do it probably for a good month and you're gonna see results because you're simply in a deficit, but you're not gonna stick to it more than a month or 2. You gotta make sure that you are tracking calories. If you're using these tips, make sure you already know that you're in a deficit. If you aren't in a deficit, I would recommend getting into a deficit. Whatever number that is, you can find it online, by the way. So you could find a lot of just calorie calculators out there on the web. So just choose and pick one. It's gonna be a rough number, but just go by it for a couple weeks. And if you start losing pounds in a couple weeks, then you are in a deficit. And I just wanna share with whoever's watching, utilize these tips because they are very important. And yeah, those are my top 3 tips. If you would like another video like this, part 2, or something similar like this, please like this video. If you can, subscribe, or simply just comment. Thank you.